Emotional manipulation techniques. How to defend yourself from manipulation. Mastery of bad people. This should really say mastery of the woman. In my last video on here, I talked about how I would deliver a video teaching you how to overwhelm her emotions. But you guys know I like to give building blocks. So when you get to your final destination, you are a man who is ready. You are formidable. You are ready to go on this attack. You are ready for this battle. That is why today I'm going to teach you how to become invulnerable to manipulation. How to be impervious to manipulation. This is important in order for you to hold your manhood, in order for you to stand your ground in the relationship, in order for you to keep your masculine frame. I always talk about the man dominating on YouTube. I talked about how women manipulate men. But I never explained to you before the 7 traits that a man has that makes him open to manipulation, open to being manipulated. The 7 traits, the 7 characteristics that he has or that he shows that leaves him vulnerable, that the woman uses as leverage to manipulate him. Now, before you get ahead of yourselves and ask the question, why does the woman feel the need to manipulate me in the first place? The answer is usually along the lines of nature, which is evolution. The woman is not stronger physically than you are. In many cases, she is not stronger than you are mentally. In most cases, actually. Therefore, she turned to things like emotional manipulation, something that the man is not as good in. So she knows how to manipulate you. Even when you are spitting game, when you are trying to talk to a woman and get her, right? Even when you're trying to do that, she is manipulating you. She may already know that the answer is yes. Matter of fact, she knows already before you even open your mouth that the answer is yes. However, she is going to see how badly do you want her. How much work are you willing to put out for her? How many hoops are you willing to jump through? How many circus tricks are you willing to do before she can give in to you? One reason that many women hold out on sex with men is because the man is easily manipulated. If a woman really, really wants you, and then she realizes that you want her so bad that you're willing to do many things in order to get with her, she will hold out on the sex in order to make you do many things. Because if she gives the sex up, you may no longer be inclined to do those things. So she will use it as leverage. What am I saying? I am saying that women use emotions and manipulation in order to leverage themselves in a more favorable position in the interaction between man and women. We're going to understand that today as a building block towards how to overwhelm and control that woman's emotions. It's your boy, Mr. Limba. This is the MLC Patreon edition. To all my patrons, kick your feet up and grab yourself something cold to drink. It's time to talk. 7 types of men and the 7 ways women manipulate them. There are 7 types of men, and there are 7 ways that women manipulate them. Why do the numbers match? Why is it 7 for 7? Well, if it was 2, it would have been 2 for 2. Those men share a trait, and women cannot manipulate you without having those traits, without being aware of those traits. That is what I mean by having them. I mean, she cannot manipulate you without you having them. You understand? So if you have 6, she has 6 ways to manipulate you. If you have 8, then she have 8 ways to manipulate you. Now, we understand that these traits are, in a way, emotional, which is why a man should not be ruling simply in his emotions. His emotions should be minute, very small, and his logic should take precedence over everything. However, we are creatures of flesh and blood, and we understand that emotions is a way of bonding, is a way of connecting. It is even intrinsic, in many ways, spiritual. Therefore, you must understand those traits in order to get rid of them or keep them hidden. Keep them behind the scene so that the woman cannot see them, so that she may not be aware of them. And when you are successfully able to do that, she will no longer have any way of manipulating you. Instead, on the contrary, you can use them to manipulate and control her. Hence the building block towards overwhelming the woman's emotion. My brothers, let's get into it. Let's look at the 7 types of men on the left-hand side. And on your right-hand side, you have the tactics that the women use in order to manipulate and use as leverage that those traits of men, those type of men. And now she is capable of manipulating him. Quickly, let us cover the numbers, and then we're going to break it down in details throughout this video. And once you have memorized this, and you understand that her manipulation is nothing more than a shakedown, a blackmail, an extortion, and you can keep those traits away from her, you will be able to be invulnerable to manipulation. Number 1, if you are a man that needs approval, her tactic will be to shower you in love. Number 2, if you are a man that fears rejection, she will show you anger. Number 3, if you are a man who fears inadequacy, who fears being inadequate, she will verbalize her criticism of you. Number 4, if you are a man that has a fear of guilt, you fear feeling guilty, she will express that she is suffering. Number 5, empathy, pity. If you are a man that shows a lot of pity, that shows that you are feeling her pain, she will manipulate you by pretending to be helpless and that she needs you to do everything. Number 6, if you are a man who fears loneliness. She will show no care. She will show no emotions. Believe it or not, the woman can stop showing emotions as a way to manipulate the man. Number 7, if you are a man who is intimidated by her easily, she will make explosive threats in order to get you to do what she wants. Do you understand, my brothers? These are the 7 steps, and these are the 7 tactics used to manipulate you. The 7 ways that she manipulates you. Now that you have seen them, let us break them down from the order of 1 through 7 in details. And once we are done with this video, you may apply them and watch how you gain your power. The first one. If a man is sensitive to approval, then the woman will express love through appreciation, affection, or pleasing to soften him up. This emotional extortion works when the man feels, emphasis on feels, quote, "How can I refuse when my woman, who is usually so hard to get along with, is now acting or behaving so nice?" It is always about manipulation. Even when your woman is nice, it is always about leverage. Remember, manipulation equals leverage. She is looking to find a way to have leverage over you, over the head of the house, over the man, over the king, over the symbol of authority, over power incarnated. Do you understand? So she will try to get you to do certain things for her. And if it is something that she does not like, she will try to reward you by being nice, by listening to you when you actually do it for her. In other words, you have changed your stance. You have changed your grounds. You no longer stand firm. You are not unmovable. You are not unshakable. So now what she does is begs you. And if you do it for her, if you change your mind, she will be very loving. She will show you that she's approving of what you have done. This is why if you are a man that seeks approval, you are vulnerable to manipulation. She can easily now manipulate you because she realized you want her to be happy with what you do. You want her approval. So when you do what she wants, she will tell you, "Good job. What would I do if I didn't have a man like you?" Now don't get mad, but understand she should be saying this when you do things that are not just for her. She should be nice. She should be loving. She should be showing appreciation and affection, even when you do not do what she wants. But if she is only doing them when you change your stance on something you previously said you would not do, and now you are doing, this woman, your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance, your mother, your sister, is manipulating you. Control this trait of needing a woman's approval. In my opinion, completely discard of this trait of needing a woman's approval. And you will be down one step from being manipulated. You will be one step closer from moving away from the idea of being manipulated. A man who seeks her approval, she will manipulate through showing love, appreciation, and affection when he actually conforms to her ways, when he does what she wants. Let us move to number 2. Number 2, if a man is sensitive to rejection. Now you may say, if I already have this woman, how can I be rejected by a woman I already have? Let me explain. The woman, if you are sensitive to rejection, if you are afraid of rejection, the woman will loudly or quietly express anger through acting offended, through acting injured or wronged, like you did something wrong to her. That is to soften the man up. That is to change your stance, to move your foundation, which is what you stand on, which is what makes you a man, which is what makes you firm. That is your principle. She is trying to change your principle through anger. This emotional shakedown, this emotional blackmail, this emotional extortion works. And it only works when the man feels, once again, emphasis on feels. Quote, I can't stand it when my woman acts like she doesn't like me. You see, she's already your woman, but you feel rejected because she's unhappy with you. It is still a sense of seeking her approval, but in this case, you are afraid when she pushes you away. Because maybe you are a guy who doesn't need her approval, but you can be neutral. If she's not angry, you don't need her to butter you up. You don't need her to kiss up to you. You don't need her to give you any praise. You don't need her approval, as long as she's neutral. But if she's negative, oh no. If she's rejecting, oh no. If she doesn't like you, oh no. You need her to like you all the time. You are so afraid that your baby is angry, is upset. She might leave you. She might break up. You are afraid you can't find a woman like her. Once she understands this about you, she will lose it. She will use it in order to manipulate you. She will use it as leverage against you. That is the second thing that you need to get rid of or keep hidden from her sight. Pretend that you don't care if she likes you or not. Pretend that you don't care if she tells you you're great or not. Matter of fact, don't even pretend. Be that way. You already approve of yourself. That is step 1. You don't need her approval. Number 2, you will do what is necessary whether she likes it or not. You don't need her to like you. That is taking away her power one by one. You're taking away her only power, which is the power to manipulate you. The power of leverage. Let's keep learning on a deeper level. Let's go to number 3. We talked about inadequacy. When you are inadequate, correct? Well, this is number 3. If a man is sensitive to inadequacy, the woman will express criticism through attacking the man's character, his caring for her, or his competence as a man, in order to soften the man up. This emotional extortion works when the man feels, I can't stand being judged a failure in my woman's eyes. She will use criticism, in number 3, in order to make you feel inadequate, like you're not enough, like you're not complete, like you are missing a few inches on your dick, like your performance is not good enough, like you are a 32nd man. She will let you know that your money is not sufficient. Maybe the house is not nice enough. Maybe your attention that you give her is not enough. Maybe you ignore her. That's what you do when you're playing your video game. That is what you're doing when you're watching the football game, the soccer game, the basketball game. You are inadequate. You are not measuring up. And it only works when the man cannot stand being judged as a failure in his woman's eyes. My brothers, you must be a winner in your eyes, and you should care about your eyes and your eyes only. If you are a spiritual man like myself, you should care about the eyes of the Most High Creator first, and in your eyes second. The woman's eyes is irrelevant. She is a follower of the masculine, the male, the man. If she is not with what your eyes see, it means that she is incapable of following your vision. If a woman cannot follow your vision, she cannot support your mission. If she cannot support your mission, she cannot be in prefix mission. She cannot be submissive. If she cannot be submissive, she is unqualified to be your woman. Stop worrying about whether or not you are adequate enough in her eyes, whether or not you are a failure in her eyes. You need to create your mission, have your vision, make your mission, and set forth to accomplish your mission as a man. And your woman is supposed to believe and follow and see the works that you are putting into place in order to complete the mission. You understand? And remember, all of these are relating to feelings. So she will criticize you if she thinks that you might feel inadequate. If she thinks that you are afraid of feeling inadequate. She will criticize you in order to make you feel inadequate. As a result, she will manipulate you and have leverage over you and control you and the relationship. Let's get into number 4. Number 4, are you susceptible to guilt? Do you feel guilty easily? How will she use guilt to manipulate you? The woman will express suffering. She will act unhappy, hurt, or sad to soften you up. Are you ready for that? She will do it to soften you up. She has the worst kind of suffering. She will paint this imaginary painting on the canvas of your soul, on the canvas of your mind. She will use the paintbrush, which is her eyelashes, her tears, her lack of engagement in the relationship. Her paintbrush will be her sad lips, her messy makeup. It will be a sad presence in the house, cold and lonely. She will paint the picture as if she is in the worst type of pain. It is the pain that one cannot see, the pain that the doctors cannot detect, the pain that causes depression, medication, and suicide. All because of you. You big, strong, hairy, oppressive man. Because of you. But are you keen enough? Fine-tuned enough? Red pill enough to realize this manipulation? To realize that it is nothing more than leverage. Remember, manipulation equals leverage. She needs leverage over you. She needs something to hold over your head. She is hurt. She is unhappy. She is sad. That is to soften up you, the man. This emotional shakedown and blackmail and extortion works when the man feels, once again, I can't stand feeling responsible for my woman's unhappiness. But you didn't do anything wrong. All you did was take the logical step. You went with the logical decision, and you told her that you would not follow her illogical demands or requests. You chose the better path. And as a result, she's pretending to be suffering because you ignore her. You don't care for her feelings. And once you give in because you cannot stand to see her unhappy and you believe the unhappiness has everything to do with you, you don't believe it's her manipulating you. She's the damsel in distress and you're the big, strong, cape crusading white knight superhero to the rescue. Well, you just got manipulated. Don't let her manipulate you by using suffering to appeal to your guilt because she realized you feel guilty often. Suppress those feelings. Or, like me, eliminate those feelings. Let's go even deeper. Let's go even into a higher level. Let's go into number 5. Number 5. If a man is sensitive to pity, if your emotions easily appeal to pity, very different from guilt. Guilt, you feel like you are the reason for her unhappiness. She has successfully made you feel like you have done something wrong because she is suffering. Pity is when she doesn't do what she is supposed to do. When she knows that you don't believe it's your fault. But poor her. She just couldn't do it herself. Poor her. She has a reason to behave the way she's behaving. She is so helpless. She can't control her emotions. She can't control her strength. She couldn't even cook the food today. She was so helpless. She is using the idea of being helpless, of looking helpless in order to appeal to your pity as a man. She is hoping that you're pitiful, full of pity. Women are masters at manipulating men. So she will act helpless or resign. She is trying to soften you up. This works when the man feels, I can't stand feeling sorry for my woman, when she just gives up and act victimized by whatever decision I have made. See, now you're not guilty. She knows you don't think it's your fault, but you just can't stand seeing her so down. She says, my opinions are never valued. So even though you know it is illogical, you choose to value it, take it into consideration, and put it into practice anyway. Do you understand, my brothers? You put it into practice anyway. This is sad. And she is using your soft heart. Not your guilty heart, but just your soft heart. Being a person who just cares that she feels like a victim. She will use that against you to get what she wants. Leverage once again. Because you have compassion, pity. You feel for another. You understand her pain. She is such a victim. So you run to save her. And the last one, it was guilty. You felt that it was your fault. You know it's not your fault in this one, but you just can't see her this way. You can't. Your voice is cracking. Your eyes are watery. Your chest is heavy. The back of your neck is stiff. You can't eat your food. You can't watch TV. Poor girl. Damsel in distress. You gotta give in. And now, she wins. Let's go to number 6. Number 6. If a man is sensitive to abandonment, loneliness, you can't be by yourself, right? The woman will express apathy. That is the feeling of uncaring, showing that they do not care. That they do not care what happens. That's what apathy is. No feelings whatsoever. They suppress it. This is what I am telling you guys to use throughout all these steps. Apathy, right? But she will use that to manipulate you. Like the relationship doesn't matter anymore. And she doesn't care. I don't care what happened. Do whatever you want. I'm done trying, she says. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not even mad anymore. I don't talk anymore. So now you're begging her to nag at you. You begging her to give you some nagging. Because you don't understand. She just doesn't care. She doesn't care. You need her. You need her. You need her reaction. You need her reaction no matter how illogical it is. You need it. You need it. You need it now. You're begging for your own torment because she's not showing any kind of emotion. Do you see how that manipulates you? She is using the lack of emotion to manipulate your insecurity, which is abandonment. Your fear of being lonely because you think the relationship might be over, that she might be leaving you. And even if she doesn't leave you, she have left you emotionally. Ooh. She is physically present, but you fear that you already got emotionally dumped. She has emotionally broken up with you. Oh man, but you can't have that. And that kind of manipulation only works when the man feels, I can't stand the loneliness, when my woman acts like there's no caring for our relationship. My brothers, I am here for you. Learn this stuff. That's right. You don't have to keep the whole paragraph, but make little notes like I did in the slide where I showed you guys the traits and then I had little keywords on the right hand side about how it is used to manipulate you. Do something like that. You got to eliminate those feelings. You got to suppress them, hide them. Don't let her know you have them. Practice apathy, like you have no care in the world, but you still handle business. And once she calms down and come back around, that is when you show her love. Because now you're training her that the way she's going to get love, that the way she's going to get the cuddling, the kiss, the good sex, the going out for dinner, the random movie dates, is by playing it your way, is by going at it your way. You understand? Woo! I hope you guys are getting this. Last but not least, let's go over to number 7 and conclude this knowledge that will make you invulnerable to manipulation. You will be impeccable, unstoppable, unshakable, unmovable. You will stand on your principles because you will be aware of when and how you are being manipulated. Let's keep going. This one is very common in the United States of America, especially amongst black women, for some of my brothers and many Hispanic women that we also have come across. But it's also done by women of all races. It is just more predominant and seen more often amongst the groups that I have just mentioned. But overall, it happens to every man of every race, dealing with women of every race, background, and color, religion, and so forth. This is if a man is sensitive to intimidation, if you are easily intimidated as a man, the woman may and will express explosiveness. She will use the emotion of explosiveness in order to play on your weakness, which is intimidation. She will loudly speak or act as if she is going to lose physical control. She may say, I will smack you. Don't make me hit you. Don't make me break your video game. Don't make me start breaking things. Don't make me set your shoes on fire. Don't make me bleach your clothing. Don't make me take the kids away. It doesn't have to always be physical violence, because she's talking about lose physical control. And that may mean she physically take the kids away from the father. Don't make me call the police and have your butt arrested. Threats. Threaten harm. Psychological harm, physical harm, religious harm, your status harm. She might tell your pastor, your church, your imam, your rabbi, your elder, that you're not the holy man you pretend to be. This is what he do. These are the nasty words he said, even if you did not say them. These are the profanity that he used. You understand? Threatening physical harm, threatening emotional harm, maybe financial harm. I will put you on child support. I will ask for alimony. You understand? And this extortion, emotional manipulation. This leveraging, manipulation equals leverage. It is possible when the man feels, I can't stand being frightened or getting hurt. Physically, through threats, emotionally, psychologically. She is using that as leverage over you. What is the point, gentlemen? Practice avoiding showing these 7 traits. Practice eliminating them. Practice not showing them. Control yourselves. You are a man, a creature of logic. Never show a woman your weakness. That is my point. Because she will use it against you. If not now, she will later on. You already know I have the next video coming up in a few days, furthering the knowledge of how to overwhelm her emotions and control the woman's actual emotions. Are you ready for that? It's the next level teaching and understanding. It's your boy, Mr. Limba. Until next time, blessing, love, prosperity. Peace.